So from here, we'll go through to the Anderson room, and from thence to the sergeant's mess. Now, the Anderson room, so named for two famous sons of the regiment, RSM Tom Anderson and his son, Brigadier General Doug Anderson, originally was a lecture room, and that only. Although from early photographs, we can tell that this was used for a dining hall, a dance room. This is where we have our banquets. It's still a meeting room. As you see, our commanding officers' Chord conference happened here last night. There are a few artifacts of interest here, which I'll quickly show you. One is this map. Now, in a separate series, I will go through, I will examine the Battle of Vimy Ridge from the Seaforth's perspective. But this map represents one of the reasons why the Canadians won, where the British and the French failed to keep the ridge. 44,000 of these things were printed and distributed down to section level, so that for the first time in modern military planning, everybody knew the plan, not just the officers and sergeants. The second interesting piece, which I'll confine myself right now, is this kill taper. It was a long-established custom, at least in the Canadian Highland regiments, to decorate a kill taper in the usual format, the name of the platoon, 14 Platoon, Seaforth Highlanders with the cap badge, the date, June 1916, and the signatures of everybody in the platoon. As a historian, this is absolutely vital to my research because the histories don't go into this level of detail. From this and the other kill taperings in the collection, and I do have one for almost every subunit of the First World War, most of the Second World War, Korea, the Bosnian War, and now Afghanistan. This gives me more historical detail for research. Carrying on, these washrooms were installed in the 80s when they added an addition over the brick square that I mentioned earlier. Carrying on over here, we have two cases showing the modern uniforms. Now this might be too glary and I may have to reshoot this, but a Master Warrant Officer in the green coatee, which has been worn since the 50s, and the current generation of campaign medals, Afghanistan, NATO, United Nations, Yugoslavia, NATO Article 5 in Bosnia, and the Canadian Forces decoration with bar for 22 years service. Across the way, we have an officer in mess kit and truce, and this is still worn today, of course. And this particular one was formerly worn by our own our own Colonel David Fairweather. Scarlet tunic and truce, as mess undress, as they call it. Now, from here, we're going to go across to the sergeant's mess.